Yeah, man. Let the people pull up one time, man. Blessings to the people, man. First of all, I wanted to speak on a few different things, man. I think that there's some important subjects and topics. Um, you know, we got politics, we got crypto, we got activism, we got business, we got tokenomics, man. We got really a lot of different things that we can cover, and then we got the community as a large and as a whole. And as we really talk about the community, let me start there first, man, because I think that we are people and we young men and young women in this game that's immature in our positions. You know, when it comes to being a part of organizations where black men got power, ever since I was a child, I've been a part of that. You understand me? I've seen black men with power. I've seen black men who distorted and used their power the wrong way. I've seen corruption. I've seen things be built, and I've seen things be fall. You understand me? Well, since I was young, I've been teaching grown men on how to be men before I was a man myself. And that was just by sharing the information that was important to me, important into others. You understand me? I always go say the only thing that impressed me is unity. I know y'all seen me post a few things these last few weeks, and you may not know where they come from. You understand me? And my intentions are always good. You understand me? Because I always want us to win. You understand me? That's what I'm here for. I want us to win. And the only way we gonna be able to win is if we get to a better place. You understand me? In society and as young men and women with our leadership. Because a lot of people find themselves in positions of leadership and they're not leaders and they don't want to be leaders. And that's understood. And a lot of people have spoken that and told, you understand me, and said that they never wanted to be leaders. But by having a platform, having attention, you by default become a leader because people follow you. They follow your example, your temperament, the way you move, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk. You understand me? Your ambitions, aspirations, character, influence, personality, the whole nine. And some of us are undeservingly in leadership positions, and all of us still have to qualify to be better leaders, including myself. You know, and so once we realize that it's a responsibility that we have, and that it's an extreme honored responsibility that we have, then we may see the opportunity as different. You understand me? Like, some of us get money, you get some shine, right? And then the shine makes you an influencer or an influential person. Once you become this influential person, you understand me, where you may have just got in it because, shit, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm out here getting money. This is what I'm doing. But you never said to yourself, I'm going to be a leader for my people. That's a different responsibility because now you got to weigh ethics and morality and work to be upright and righteous. You understand me? And so even if you deny it and say, I ain't trying to be a leader, whatever it may be, that's what you are. It's the same thing with a rapper that doesn't want to be a role model. You are a role model regardless because people model themselves off the role that you play in society. You understand me? So all of us have a standard that we must live by. You understand me? To where we have a responsibility that we must keep at the forefront of our minds every single time that we're going out in the way that we're moving. It's easy for us to be able to capitalize off our speaking abilities. You understand me? Capitalize off the way we know how to get into society, and we know how to make money, and we know how to get into the minds of the people to implant ideas, right? Which, to the greater degree of how good we are, puts an even greater degree of accountability on what we do with the skill sets that we have. You understand me? And that's the true challenge that we have today. Is how do we challenge ourselves when it comes to our moral systems and the guides, you understand me, that we must press upon ourselves, even if the outward society is not pressing it on us. Because most people won't tell you because they happy at the job that you're doing, not realizing that this plays a larger role, right? And a larger role is how it affects generations to come. That the actions that we do now are not just time sensitive to this month, this year. No, these consequences have a ripple effect on us. You understand me? I can look at the history of white institutional behavior and their creation of documentation, their creation of Constitution and Magna Carta and charters and treaties and things of that nature throughout the consequence of history on how they was able to establish ideas and make them last throughout time and even enslave the people as we are today as citizens under a corporation. So as citizens under a corporation, not understanding how to move, whether it's public or private or whatever it may be, we don't have nobody here has the wherewithal, has the audacity to speak on another man or woman that is a slave under the very reality that you are, even if you are a more comfortable slave in this reality. Not until we have the tools necessary to get their mind out of this matrix, to help them better their habits, because it's three different factors when we factor in environmental things or when we factor in things that control us. You have, number one, your individual ideas that we have. Everybody wants to be an individual. It's the most dangerous thing, right? There's nothing wrong with your uniqueness, your perspective. You understand me? Your genuineness, your originality. That's beautiful. It's the perspective that you bring to the collective. But the point is that you bring it to the collective so that it improves the collective, not so that the collective moves around the individual. Right? So each working part learns to respect the next working part so that they can work congruent with each other and they can all have function, which gives them purpose. So we have our individual ideologies and beliefs in the way that we move, the way that we see each other. Human beings are distinct in that manner. You see tigers, they all have the same instincts. They all have the same movement and characteristics. Lions, animals. They don't have individual characteristics that control their behavior. Human beings are unique in that particular way. You understand me? Now, in another way that we influence is by environment. The environment controls the way we think. And when we understand that social media is an environment because it is what we observe within our mind. And the content controls what we think as we observe the content and create our hypothesis on life. You understand me? As we utilize the content to make our decisions throughout life. So if we're not putting something that's good or positive in the environment, then it only controls the behavior of people to manipulate them in ways that you want them to move, but may not be good for their entirety, right? So capitalism, see, when you have money without character, it can make a devil out of men. And this is what we always working on. And this is, I always say the disclaimer, I don't speak from a place of perfection. I don't speak as if, Keys got to say he think he got it figured out. I'm working. And I'm speaking on the things I'm working on myself. Because when you're in a position of influence and power, it's very easy to become a devil. That small degradation of your character when you start to accept unethical behavior makes you a devil when it becomes the norm and you justify your norms because of your success. Your success not being measured based on the 42 laws of Ma'at, but your success being measured based off the 48 laws of power. See, now this is where we get into a different kind of conversation. And most can't talk this heavy because most don't think. Only you know how to get a little paper. I move a little bit. You know what I mean? You can tell somebody how to make a little money. I don't care if you can make money. Our culture got it bad the way that we treat each other, the way that we act around each other. There's 48 laws of power versus the 42 laws of Ma'at. Why? Because the laws of Ma'at is all about weighing the heart on the scale based on righteousness, based on your morality, based on your principles and your deeds, truth, order, and justice. And most people ain't got none of those within their thought process on how they move. Because the opposite of that is the violent, the deceit, the disorder. And so if you have to weigh the laws of Ma'at against the 48 laws of power, because the 48 laws of power have made so many men indecent and immoral, to where you only try to create and produce power through deceit and tricknology, the knowledge of how to trick each other, the knowledge of experimental manipulation, the knowledge of how do I conquer another person's mind, heart, and feeling so that they can produce the will that I want them to. And it's not even the strongest way of going about it because we naturally have a power. See, a man that is naturally power don't have to practice deceit. It's the man who is naturally weak that have to practice deceit. Because the way that they got the black man is that they confuse us and tricked us to make us believe that we weren't, you understand me, who we are. They had to make us forget who we were. If you walk into a room and you got a bunch of strong people and you feel weak, you got to practice deceit in the minds of those people to make them feel weak so that you can conquer these people, but mentally first. You play chess with their mind to make them feel weak, not that they are. You have to make them forget who they are, what they can do, what they're capable of. Then you have to get them depending on you for their confidence. Oh, man, I got to come to you, man. You make it sound right. You got to destroy them so that you can build them up. It's the pimp and the hoe mentality. It's the master and the slave paradigm. It's the same game that's been running on this whole entire time. We just learning to utilize it against each other, and then we call ourselves successful. That's all it is. We learn to use it against each other and call ourselves successful. It's the Machiavellian thought process without the old murder code. Everybody wants to be, you understand me, the gangster, but the gangster don't even want to be a gangster. He only did it because he had to. He was bullied into the reality. He knew no better. They say ignorance is bliss, and it's a lie. Because reality, knowledge is bliss. Enlightenment, once you know better, you can do better. If you don't know better, you can't do better. If you never experienced a certain aspect of life, how can that be blissful? Because you don't know what you're missing. So, yes, we do take advantage of each other. Yes, there is an act where you shame the devil so that he can act better as a God, but only when the person is acting unrighteous. That's when you want to produce shame in the hearts of men, because you want that self-accusing spirit to make them feel and bother their soul. So, yeah, you want to shame the man when he's not doing something that's right. But when a person is working and trying to produce evidence of their faith in themselves, then you don't shame them because it robs them of their ability to be able to go and produce for self. You rob them of their confidence when, I thought this was a good idea. And we see it. So I'm speaking on the standards of what I'm seeing in society. And we have to be careful, because what we start doing is that we take on intersectionality. See, the way original man go do stocks, the way original man go do crypto, the way original man go do marketing, the way original man is going to do the options and the credit and the real estate, it's different than the way the artificial man go do it. But if we take on their tactics, and they are the masters of deceit, and we learn those tactics, then we come back with those tactics in our community, not thinking about the ethics of it all. No, we only care whether it works. We don't care whether it's good. We care whether it's effective. Because they've learned to create systems. They are a systematic people. And see, learning is very important. Learn from the devil, because he makes no excuses. They know how to work together in a collective manner. Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, learn from the white man. He never said become what you learn. Learn from them, but don't become what you learn. So we learn so that we can utilize the knowledge and information that produces a better agenda. So yeah, I want to see everybody win. I can go into the details and teach you how I win. I'm not going to shame somebody else's platform. But this is what I see, and we take on their tactics. Well, if I can make you feel bad because you just lost some money in the crypto market, then perhaps I can get you over here into my market so I can get more money into my pocket. It's a game. I get it. I'm seeing it all over the internet. And I'm like, why are we reacting like this? Aren't we happy our people are finally... Because you have to understand, it's a very small percentage of our people even doing this. The rest of them are still out there scamming. The rest of them still out there working jobs. People trying to get out the matrix. And that's all we do is we shame each other tactics. Just because you took a different route than somebody else doesn't mean that their route towards freedom wasn't correct and righteous. No, I want to see you win. If I'm speaking on something, whether I'm comparing stocks or crypto, whether I'm comparing real estate and credit or whatever it may be, it's to speak on the institutional behavior. Like I'm talking about the banks, right? Man, F the banks. I'm not talking about the person that go to the bank. I get why you go because of the ignorance of you not knowing. But I'm speaking on the institutions that are owned by these historical white families. I'm not speaking on the black man that don't have knowledge of self. That person that votes. You understand? I'm speaking on the system of the politics. Because I know that the vote means to wish or to vow to a deity. So for me, I'm speaking on the bigger picture all of the time. Because I understand how this plays out. I understand that we have the ability right now to create $1 billion within our culture. Y'all want to know why we ain't doing it? Anybody dare to guess why we ain't got it? It's only because we don't come together and work together in a collective manner. It's only because of that. Once we learn to work together in a collective manner, everything is ours. And I can actually put together the plan, full detail, and it's done. And y'all stop bringing up my brother's name, man. Don't do that on my live. Don't do that on here. I want you to go look out in this world, and I want you to go see standards and examples of the things that you wish to see. I want you to go look at the things that you don't wish to see anymore. And I want you to just start to delete those things and erase those things from your vibration completely. And the things that you wish to see, I want you to enhance them even more. Yeah, we always want to see. The most dangerous thing is when we want to see the blood sport of us murdering each other. We want to see us fighting each other rather than working together. That's all we want. And I'm a bigger picture God. There's so many big things in the world for us to focus on. And all we know how to do is focus on the BS, the problems, the issues. We committed to our distractions and escapism. But if we had that same commitment to power, we'd be in a different place right now. You understand me? There's infinite wealth strategies that we can utilize today. Infinite wealth strategies. You understand me? And I can literally, when it comes to my family, whether it's my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, I'm not one in the family that bring the family together. When it comes to the culture, I'm not one that tell the brothers, the influencers, you understand me, the motivators, the speakers, the entrepreneurs, is like, no, we got to be leaders. I'm the one that want to see us become better leaders. You understand me? That's my role. It's to help become a better leader myself, to learn, because I'm always working to learn, right? And try to help everybody else become better leaders. What gives me the audacity? Simply because I got the will to. Simply because it's on my heart. That's why. So when the market is the way it is, and I know I talked about 48 laws of power, and a lot of people did not want to hear that. But let's be honest. when I go about looking at these 48 laws of power, it's, it's sad because I've seen so many people pick up that book and lose themselves. I've seen people literally lose their mind playing with that book. I've seen people get themselves killed playing power games. You understand me? With weak rules. Never outshine the master. But who told y'all was masters in the first place? The audacity of the boys. People swear they masters. You understand me? And ain't mastered a goddamn thing. In reality, what it did was it created this false identity, you understand me, in a lot of people for them to make themselves feel more important than they actually are. And then people start playing this game of deceit. And one of the bigger issues with it is that it was very, very obvious. It's like, bruh, who the hell, you out here playing 48 laws of power and everybody done read the book and ain't got no power. So tell me, how is that a good book? You out here talking about, no, well, I read it so that I won't be deceived. But you being deceived every day. The arch deceiver got you taking all of the vaccines and still taking your kids to their school and still utilizing the banks in the way that you use it. You understand me? And a multitude of other different ways. It's like, come on now. You still being deceived. You looking for the deceit from your brother, but your main enemy is getting away with it every day. That's the issue, is that we looking at the wrong deceiver. You understand me? That ain't no real power. If power has to be kept up through deceit and technology, then you're going to always have to utilize deceit and technology in order to maintain the power. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a tool that we utilize in order to better ourselves, of course. But my statement, and I always want to send ripples of shock to people. You understand me? That's my whole thing. I want to break paradigms to where it break the hold and the curses that we have with certain entities. We be emotionally connected to things. You say something about it, brother. No, that's my Bible. No, I swear by those rules. Those make me better. I hear you, bro. You ain't know what power was naturally. You ain't know how to move upright as a man and learn the proper handling of people. I ain't get that from 48 laws of power. What that did is it'll let me see the deceit and the evilness that and how men utilize their tactics of power. Yeah, for that particular aspect, it was an interesting read. But then I quickly said, wait a minute. I'm not about to utilize those goddamn rules myself. I remember being a young one and influenced by that. I'm like, man, I'm a sucker if I'm out here trying to use these rules. That ain't gonna give me no real power. That's a personality that people are adapting. You understand me? How did the black man gain power in the first place? Not by playing the rules of the white man. You understand me? By building his own world and remember who he was. And the most important game that we gonna ever play, and the most important power game that we can ever play, is that's building and producing a black family. Because it's the only institution on this planet that gives us power. Which is why, when I'm looking at this video, and the woman is proposing to the man. And a lot of y'all got it. I've seen a lot of men specifically. And then the women that I seen agree, they most likely was LGBT. They agreed with it. Oh, it's lovely. Love is love. I don't know who taught y'all what the hell love is love mean. It doesn't mean anything. That's like saying red is red. We know red is red. Doesn't mean anything. The reality is this. Love is duty and family is business. Love is duty and family is business. So if love is duty, then we, number one, because I don't care, and this is my thought process. Some of you all may think differently and may disagree with me on this particular point. I don't care who you love. That's none of my business. The way you feel inside about something, that ain't none of my business. You know that you can fall in love with anybody. That our brains, and we can have a chemical reaction and be hardwired, that there's a way to manipulate a person into falling in love with you. But true love is self-serving. You understand me? First, it's self-love. And that if we get into circumstances where a woman loves herself first, then she not go put herself in a position, you understand me, to take on the role of a man so that she can try to get a man's love. That don't even make sense. That's ass backwards. And in society, when we start to praise those things and we start to say they okay because we think that's progressive, when really it's regressive. We think everything is progressive because we accept it. No, progressive is things that progress the family forward. Oh, well, they starting a black family. That ain't how we start black family. All black families ain't good for the black family. No, because then how is that man teaching the child? Who's going to be the alpha in the household? Then y'all want to destroy every construct and gender role. No, I definitely, absolutely believe in some gender roles. I'm not going to have my woman taking out the trash. When it comes to security, it's no way that a woman is going to take the role of the man in that particular order. I want her to be comfortable. I want her to be feminine. You understand me? I want her to be relaxed, to be within her nature. You know, and men nowadays want the woman to be the provider. You understand me? And so that be the issue, because bros be so weak that they want they woman to take care of them. And then they don't want nobody to say it. I'm looking at the pages of the brothers that agree with it. Man, maybe it's time that women finally, you know what I'm saying, see our value. Bro, you ain't even got no value that you exerting yourself. You ain't even taking care of your responsibilities on this planet Earth. So why would a woman even look at that and find value in it? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once said, he said, listen, you know, a woman can't do nothing for a man when a man has nothing for a woman to do. If you a know nothing having man, what you need a woman for? Because a woman is a multiplier of the things that she's given. So if you ain't got nothing, then you have no reason that you need a woman for in the first place. Sometimes women look for potential that they have in their mind, but that's not in the grind of the man. You can help enhance what a man is doing, but you can't produce his potential for him. You can't do that. You can't produce a man potential for him. Only a man can do that. He got to already be moving, and you can encourage him and help him move faster. He got to already have a plan, and you can help him with the details of producing the vision. But if he ain't got no plan, you gonna give him the plan and give him the push and do the work for him? You spoil that man and make him weak. You rob him of the adversity he needs to grow. And go keep learning the hard way. It's a reason that the marriages in the black community have the highest rate of divorce. Why you think that is? Because we don't know how to do family. If we knew how to do family and we were good at it, I wouldn't have a single criticism. If we were good at it, I wouldn't have a single criticism, but we not. So the way I'm looking at it, man, it's unfortunate because, you know, it's a lot going on in the world. there is a war against masculinity. We do believe that hyper masculinity exists, but we don't believe in toxic masculinity. And if a person does believe in toxic masculinity, then they must also by default believe in what? Toxic femininity. Because every single thing in the universe has its polar opposite, and that cannot be denied. So, the way I be seeing it, it's sad because I don't like when men are with women that pacify their behavior but don't help them grow into becoming better men. And I've dealt with that, partners, brothers, people I've seen. You get with somebody, and because they just as bad as you, they not gonna push you to do anything better. They gonna make you feel good with your weaknesses. They gonna make you feel comfortable with your stagnation instead of pushing you, saying that, no, you can go harder. And that's the same, even if you are already doing a good job in life, a woman that challenges you to do more, to grow more, to be more, man, that's a different type of life. It is. Cause she like, no, baby, listen, you doing good in your area. It's enough that I can congratulate you and things of that nature, but you should, go ahead and go harder. Go ahead and push more. Go ahead and produce more than results. Go ahead and continue to go lead more. They need you in this area. You can improve in this area, but you do it in a way to where it's like watering seeds. You're not kicking up dirt. It's like watering seeds. You ain't saying, nigga, get the fuck up. No, you saying that, listen, let me go ahead and, it's nurturing. You might, give a head massage and then say it or something. I don't know, what I'm talking about? But the lost art of femininity and the lost art of masculinity is destroying our generation, man. We don't like confrontation. Men don't like confrontation no more. We don't like talking. We don't like speaking to each other. We get into this feminine thing, we just ignore each other. No, that ain't masculine. I'm sorry to tell you, but that ain't masculine behavior. Masculine behavior deals with diplomacy. Masculine behavior deals with things up front. Ain't afraid. Make the phone calls. Challenge life head on. That ain't masculine. Because otherwise, what you're doing is you're failing to the fears. I don't want to have that conversation. And then what that does is that means that now you don't have it to pour into your woman. She may be coming to you for the masculine perspective, but you don't have it. Now you can't tell her how to properly deal with things that may be going on at work. You understand me? Tell her things that how she can handle things in logical manners because you have experience in the way that you move and the way that you do things as well. But you can't give her that. So she can't even come to you for that. So she's lacking it now. It's like, damn, she ain't even got a leader in the household. So now she got to go outside her house for a real man conversation. So now she gonna be seeking a real man. Why she already in a relationship. But because she with a boy, she didn't realize she got a boy, so now she need a man in her life. And so she go seek and find that man, whether it's advice from somebody, some other source, some other man, some other direction. Now she trying to figure out how the hell to deal with you. Because now she realized she fell in love with a boy. And she don't know how to deal with it. And if she don't have other women in her life to give her the proper foundation and advice to how to deal with things, they're going to tell her how to deal with things on how other girls deal with it. Little girls deal with it. Well, lash out this way. Ignore him this way. Go talk to his person. Go do this. So now you got little boys and girls together in a relationship and it never blossoms into anything mature to where these two people should ever come together and have a child. Because little boys and girls shouldn't be having children because they don't know how to raise boys and girls to become men and women. So the environmental factors that control us, the immaturity that we have in society when it comes to building the foundation of these relationships, that's why they end so violently the way that they do. The lack of encouragement that we find in these situations, the lack of learning how to help, the over incentives of people focusing on you. Ladies, y'all got a confidence that exists beyond anybody else's validation that society never tells you to tap into. It ain't about, oh, you a strong woman. It's just about you being a woman, period. Because a woman already is strong enough, just being a woman. You possess with the abilities to go through pain, to produce babies. You have a master intuition. You have a superior power within yourself. Saying you a strong woman is just comparing you to a weak woman. Saying you a woman is just comparing you to yourself. You just you and your nature. I don't have to walk around saying I'm a strong man. I'm a man. That's enough. But because of man's principles, he's supposed to already have strength. But men a lot of time, they don't even want no strength. They don't want no power. No, we just want to be emotional. We just want to feel everything. We don't want to take on responsibilities. That's why the brothers don't want the gender roles to exist as well, the same way women don't want. They don't want them to exist because who wants all that goddamn responsibility to act within your nature? Everybody wants to go against their nature. You telling me I got to actually defend myself? That I got to speak up for myself? That I got to use my mind that, wait a minute, part of manhood is my ability to be able to produce income for myself? So if I'm judging myself by those standards, damn, am I a man? And nobody wants to come face to face with that rationale that they not actually producing the reality that they actually speak on. You can say you are who you are. That don't mean nothing. You got to do it. It's the actions that determine who you are. The thoughts are the precept to the concept of becoming a man. But if they never produce in reality, then they never become a reality. But who's having a conversation with the culture on how to be men and women? And making money don't make you a man and woman. That just means your mind working in some particular aspect. That's all that means. So we got work to do. We got a whole lot of work to do. We got a whole lot of getting back to the principles of what it means to be masculine and feminine. And we don't know why it don't work for us, because we've allowed social media to validate a sense of freedom. And then we say, well, shit, now that I have social media in my life, you have to accept the way I use, validate, see myself through social media, because somebody told, well, I'm going to tell you this. This is the greatest trick that has fucked up a lot of women's head. Same thing I'm going to tell you about you brothers. Somebody told women that being free meant posting on social media. There is no correlation to your freedom, your expression of self, and social media. It has nothing whatsoever to do with you being free. Nothing whatsoever. You can post all the ass and titties you want to in the world. It has nothing to do with you being free. It has nothing to do with it. It's actually the opposite, because you are working to be seen and validated by other people's thoughts that control the way you feel about yourself. It's the want and the need for attention that makes you a slave rather than an actual free woman. You can walk around naked every single day in your crib and be free. The correlation between you being naked and the world seeing you be naked has nothing to do with the two. Besides the fact that you seek something for a reason. And we validate it with all of the illogics in the world. But these two have nothing to do with each other. That's just the facts. And since men are judged by what they have, men always want to show what they have. So if we change the society to where men are not just judged by what they have, his ability to produce, but judged by his character and who he is, then he would act to show more of his character than the things that he have. But since he's judged more on his possessions, his material possessions and his immaterial possessions, his soul, his spirit, his character, his heart, his mind, his ethics, his morals, his principles, his values, his missions, his visions, his goal. You understand me? His faith, his belief system. That's not the things that men are being judged and picked upon by beautiful women that men find attractive. So therefore, he has to, all right, well, shit, I could have those things, but that's not what they coming to me for. Because I can have the greatest morals on the planet Earth. I could be the most respecting man on the planet Earth. But if bruh driving a goddamn Bentley, shit, I'm not seen. So let me show the things I have. Because guess what? If who I am doesn't attract the beautiful women, then what I have I'm going to use to attract the beautiful women. And this is how society plays us against each other, because these things have nothing to do with the longevity of a relationship. It has everything to do with the lustful connection that we build. Yeah, it can bring y'all together, but it can't hold y'all together. That's the difference. It can bring you together, but it can't hold you together. What holds you together is the foundation of who y'all truly are. Y'all characters matching. And becoming better. You know, I also realize this. Social media has given a lot of men platforms that otherwise would not have had the access, right, to women. And the thing about this is that when you can be 25 or 30 years old, and this is the first time that women are pulling themselves to you in droves and your options have opened up, you have an immaturity and a lack of experience for these situations, right? So when you get around other men who have a natural quality of confidence about themselves because they've lived their whole lives with the opposite sex attracted to them because of who they are, the energy that they have, the alpha energy that they possess, there's always going to be a disconnect. There's going to be an envy. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be insecurities that arrive. Because you realize that, damn, this social media shit is different than what hit in real life. This person's character outweighs all of my trinkets and all of my success stories. Because, yeah, a woman will go with a man that, you know, he may entice her because he may be able to produce more things for her. But she's always going to want that man that she's naturally attracted to because he that God spirit. You know what I'm saying? She going to always see him as higher than the man that she's with. That's just a reality. Whether she's going to sleep with him or do anything regardless, she's always going to understand the different levels of men. She's still going to know that. That's just a fact. She might be with you, but she know that you ain't that quality of a man. She's going to want you to become that. She's going to work and try to work and mold you into that, but she knows what she's got, but you provide her security. And she know it ain't no security over there. So what you want to do as a man is work to become those things yourself and never get comfortable with your standards of value. See, as men, we get comfortable. Well, I can provide, I can do this, so I'm comfortable. No, continue to rise. Continue to grow. Continue to become more and more and more. Not for her, but for yourself. Because anything you do for somebody else, the moment you lose the connection with them, you stop doing it for yourself. You stop doing it because you was doing it for the wrong reasons. But if you do it for me, if the growth is for you, then that's something you can maintain regardless of the relationships that you have, because you still got a relationship with yourself. And that's the reality. So we got a lot that we gotta work on when it comes to, each other. When it comes to, seeing ourselves and scaling back on how we go build, these relationships and how we gonna grow. You understand me? And I be speaking to myself when I be speaking on here. I ain't speaking from a place of the all perfection. I don't know that. I know coming from a place where I didn't have all of the game growing up, and I had to continuously and consistently learn myself. So I know that having these conversations with the culture is pivotal, because these are not things that's in your environment. These are not things that's constantly in your environment. You know what I'm talking about? So the things that I see in society, I'm going to always speak on. That's my promise. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always speak on the things that I feel like are ill in society. There's always going to be somebody offended by it. There's always going to be somebody who don't like it. But it is what it is. Because if the truth fits, as they say, wear it. You understand me? And if the truth makes you uncomfortable, change positions. Don't try to make yourself, you understand me, comfortable in the lie. Try to make yourself comfortable in the truth. So it's always a battle of truth versus falsehood. You understand me? So sometimes we do need to be shamed, right? And then sometimes we have to be strategic in how we go about producing the gratitude from seeing our people, you understand me, create success in a way that they create success. And this movement of financial literacy, financial freedom, you understand me, this is a movement that's continuing to grow. And if we continue to positively push this in the right manner, it can balloon to become great. It won't become a bubble to where it was something we focused on for a minute, it died out. Because what we produce in this wealth for in the first place is to produce a family. And those are just the facts, family. So I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm going to end this live, and it will make it to replay on the podcast. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, continue to tap in. I'm going to continue to deliver, man. These are the keys. You know what I'm talking about? Keep educating yourself and continue to grow. My father will be teaching in my infinite wealth strategies. My sister will be teaching. My mother will be teaching. My younger brother will be teaching. I'm bringing the whole family together. You understand me? For these infinite wealth strategies. And I want to make sure that y'all are part of it as well, so we can continue to give you the keys that you need. You know, somebody got to feed the culture. You understand me? It's a lot of vultures out here. You understand me? It's a lot of bad press that we get. It's a lot of propaganda that's thrown at our ways. There's a lot of distractions that's constantly trying to take your attention. And if you can't focus, you can't produce. You know what I'm talking about? So next time I go live, we're going to be talking about some crypto keys, some tokenomics. You understand me? Just giving the game to the culture on things that we need in order for us to be able to produce more wealth. Man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I am out.